what we expect and what bookings we have already. The type of people clearly are very wealthy individuals that own their own private jets or have the opportunity and the means to charter a jet. So those are the type of people we're going to be handling, along with celebrities that are coming down, and typically those celebrities come down on private jets, dignitaries, state presidents, those type of VIPs. You might be a bit late, but the way one goes about it, we have two programs. One is our normal charter services, where you phone into our charter call desk, or one of our charter agents comes out and sees you. You request certain flights for certain specific times to get you to specific venues. We'll give you a quote, you accept the quote, and we then do the flight. Clearly, in terms of payment, just like normal airlines, you pay before you fly. So that's the one way. The other way we do it is we introduced in late last year a thing called a jet card. We call our jet card Simply Fly, which gives you the ability to buy hours in advance. So typically we sell our hours in blocks of 25, starting at 25, 50 and so on hours. Specifically for the World 10, we have introduced a 15-hour card. So that gives you preferential treatment in terms of you jump to the queue of unconfirmed flights. So if you have a list of unconfirmed flights, you will get to the top of that queue. It also gives you the ability to swap aircraft. So for example, if you buy a jet card primarily on a thing like the Execujet 45, which carries 8 passengers, but on this specific flight you require to carry 10, you clearly have to upgrade the aircraft. So it gives you the ability to upgrade from the Execujet 45 to a larger aircraft. Clearly the number of hours is worked out on a ratio basis, so 1 hour on a Global Express, like the aircraft we're sitting in, might equate to 2 hours that you purchased on the Execujet 45. So your 15 hours will be used up quicker. So that gives you the opportunity to almost guarantee you that you've got a flight, provided you're in time. Clearly the closer we get to 2010, the more booked up we're going to be. The aircraft like this goes for about $11,000 an hour. I can tell you that we have two types of this. Every aircraft that comes down here with a VIP guest on board, the passengers are guests. Typically those passengers make their own arrangements. So typically they'll be hosted by someone like the sponsors, F&B or Coca-Cola or so on. So they'll have their own arrangements in terms of hotels and venues that they will be going to and the games that they're attending. Our secondary and equally as important clients are the crew on those aircraft. Because the crew really dictate where the aircraft lands and who's going to service the aircraft while it's in the country. So we're putting all our arrangements and special events around catering for the crew requirements. Because typically it's very unlikely that the crew will be going to a game, for example. They're paid to fly the aircraft as opposed to seeing the soccer game. So the type of stuff that we'd be putting around the crew over and above the normal services that we offer, but they are typically things that will keep them entertained and occupied while the passengers are attending things like the games. So they are big screen events, so we intend to have a big screen up here where the guys can watch the soccer live on a big screen, hopefully have a bourgeois roll and understand what South African buy is all about. For those who are interested in golf, we're arranging some golf games, typically at the country clubs around here like Beaconwood, Bryanston, Johannesburg Country Club. And those are just the normal going rates at the country clubs, which vary from 600 per person a game to 300. We'll also be offering short safari excursions to places like the Rhino Park, maybe a little bit further afield if they want. For those that are landing at places like Pilanesberg, maybe a day excursion in the Pilanesberg Game Reserve. We'll also be offering things like haircuts for people who want the haircuts here at Lanseri. Instead of trying to find a barber, we'll offer that. We'll offer VIP transport arrangements to and from hotels. We're offering, in conjunction with hotels in the area and guest lodges in the area, we're offering the rooms to the crew. So we have a number of rooms booked already. In fact, most of them already been allocated and taken up by visiting crews. So generally that's what we're trying to do, to attract the crew, to make sure that the crew comes to Lanseria and through Execujet as their preferred handler.